May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? You know, I say those words thousands of times a day over the PA systems of Greyhound terminals coast to coast, and I've been doing it day after day for almost 10 years now. This is Jack Kerry, and I'm pleased to step out of my anonymous role for a while to speak to those of you who come in personal contact with our public. To millions of our patrons, I may be the voice of Greyhound, but you are the real, live, on-the-spot representative of our whole Greyhound family. So in great measure, it's on your shoulders that the nature of our public relations rests, for good or bad. Now, certainly we're all interested in the best possible relationship with the traveling public, which means not only in those areas where we're particularly skilled, but also in that extra little bit of effort, that personal touch, sort of above and beyond the call of duty. You know what I mean. So I'll get right to the point. I'm an announcer, and you're a driver. A fine one, I'm sure. Now, I'm not about to try something silly, like telling you how to drive, but perhaps I could pass along some announcing tips to you. As a matter of fact, I've been asked to do just that, to record examples of what you should sound like when speaking to passengers on your bus. Now, I think an assignment like that could be a magnificent failure if you didn't accept the effort in the spirit in which it's offered. So I wonder if we can't just chat informally about the matter and accomplish the same result in a more amiable way. Now, as regards what you say in your announcements, that's a matter of standard operating procedure, and reminder cards listing the subjects to be covered are readily available to you. Equally important, however, is that you understand why these announcements are made and how best to make them for maximum effect. Let's take first things first. Why? It's quite apparent that they're meant to be informative, but of far more importance is the fact that they're always tied to making our passengers safety conscious without being unduly obvious about it. That's what you're accomplishing, for example, when you announce, on reaching the outskirts of a terminal area, please remain seated until the bus is completely parked in the unloading dock. I'm sure you realize the vital necessity for safety at all times, and it's vitally important that your awareness and interest be reflected in your messages to passengers. Now, as to how to make the announcements, well, it's rather difficult, if not downright ridiculous, to set down any set of absolute rules, because no two persons have exactly the same type of voice, or strength of sound, or manner of speech, whether you're using a microphone or not. Then, too, your own personality is a distinguishing factor. However, I think the best advice is to consider the microphone a tool, an instrument of assistance, sort of like automatic transmission or power steering, something which makes it easier for you to accomplish what you're trying to do. In this case, to speak in an intelligent, pleasant, understandable manner. It'd be pretty silly for me to advise that you speak with your lips exactly 1 7/8 inches from the mic at a rate of 153 words a minute, because this is something which you, as an individual, must give thought and consideration to. You have to feel what's right for you and your audience. Just remember that the PA system is your helper. Don't fight it. If you don't have a microphone, the principles are still the same, except that you'll have to project more, or be deliberate enough so that the very last passenger at the rear of the bus can hear you without straining. At all times, remember the importance of your passengers receiving these safety-motivated messages you're trying to transmit. For example, a departure message like this. Good morning. My name is Jack Kerry, and I'll be your driver to New York City. Our first rest stop will be 30 minutes on the Ohio Turnpike at Tiffin River Plaza. For your safety, please do not place anything in or remove anything from the overhead racks while the bus is in motion. Please watch your step when leaving your seat, when stepping to the aisle, and when leaving or boarding the bus. This bus is equipped with restroom at the left rear of the lower level for your convenience. Please use the handholds when moving to and from the restroom when the coach is in motion. We'll be in city traffic for about 15 minutes, so please remain seated during this time. If the temperature needs adjusting, or if you need assistance, just call on me. Thank you. Well, I guess that just about does it. So this is Jack Kerry thanking you for your time and for this opportunity to speak to you in the interest of a matter we all have a great stake in, the best possible relationship with the traveling public, the millions and millions of people who take our advice to go Greyhound and leave the driving to you.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us.